this is the third Zoom for the day. So
We must be a pro by now.
I wouldn't say that.
It's always by guessing by golly that it's going to actually work sometimes.
So is our
I see-
fearless leader aboard yet?
I see Dalton changed my name.
I got
I've been leaving it that way on purpose just to see how many comments I get.
Well, Carroll's iPad is a beautiful name, but I like you as Rich Ruggles better.
You see some pretty entertaining backdrops on Zoom calls.
That's how you know if people are really good at this. Watch this.
If you're bored, that's why.
I did that one day and then I wound up having trouble getting back where I wanted to be.
Oh, look at you go, Steph.
I used to have a better one. It must be my internet.
The invisible woman there.
Yeah, your background's in front of you.
Now you really can't see my facial expressions. That might be a good thing.
She can hide her frustration.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you see me? This is Diane.
No, Diane, I don't
Yes.
see you yet.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
You need to materialize.
Yeah, well, this is my thin look.
My pre-Christmas look.
There you go.
Who had any Christmas parties to go to?
It hasn't stopped me.
I know what you're saying.
Well, so
And Mr. Shetler's on board.
How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Mr. Miners, you need to dust that ceiling fan.
Say that again.
I said you need to dust that ceiling fan.
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
I figured that.
Makes me go.
Chris, I like the fact you're keeping yourself in the dark. It's nice that you're half shadowed.
Well, this is kind of my whole corner for now.
am I showing up yet?
Yes,
No.
you are.
I am.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Diane, no, not yet.
Not yet.
You have to start your video. Start video.
How do I do that?
In the corner of your video box there.
Corner of my video. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go.
Hey,
All
There.
right. Amen.
Gosh. I've never done this before. Can you tell?
Oh,
no, can't.
Oh, okay.
now we can see Chris better.
The Zoom platform is plagued with all kinds of little glitches. So even though it works, not everybody looks good at it every single time. So
I think that's what happens to me most of the time.
me too. All of my continuing education has been this way all year, so I haven't had a hands-on clinical anything since March. So it's I don't like sitting there just listening to somebody tell me what I'm supposed to be looking for. I'd like to be hands-on. So welcome, Lisa.
As the boxes get smaller, I feel like I look better.
I can improve myself just by doing that.
You look taller, Courtney.
Is this too close?
This year.
Uh-oh, Mike Franny. Sounds like the boss is coming on board.
Everybody stop talking about him.
Yeah, but you're right.
I know, right?
Yeah, Stephanie, we won't talk about Mike anymore, but you're absolutely right. I agree 100%.
When people ask what I've been up to, I say, well, what have you heard?
Exactly.
Mike, all I see is a shiny head.
I know I should shut the lights off so it doesn't shine, but kinda.
Got a golf cap there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm trying to help this camera out a little bit. Sometimes
I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Sometimes I stand up, sometimes I sit, so it gets messed up. So.
Can you talk without your hands, Mike, or do you have to stand up?
I don't know how to answer that. I think I can.
I'm selectively mute with no hands.
Oh yeah. All right, who do we got here? We got Chris, with Diane Janning.
Yeah.
And Brocklesby. Let's see.
Lisa Wagner's having some technical difficulties. She said she's going to try to sign in a different way.
Okay.
There's Jeff Kaler down there.
Yeah, I got a message.
Yeah.
I got a message of an invalid ID. So
Yeah,
Right.
there. So let's
Nice
see.
looking haircut there, Jeff.
try to be like my bud.
Courtney, are we missing? Who are we missing? Anyone? Oh, there's Jean.
Well, I was here. I was just got a shipment that I had to stick in a box, and
I've got a Lisa down here in my corner that doesn't have a picture.
That must be Lisa. Well, we got yeah.
I think we're missing the recorder and the sheriff.
Okay.
who's
As far
Carroll?
as committee members, do we have all those? Let's see.
The
Mike, Chris.
two supervisors, the sheriff, the attorney, me, and the treasurer. I think so. Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's wait till Jean gets back there.
Oh, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
listening.
you're here.
Ashton in right now.
listening.
She's having issues.
I'm over here having a drink.
That's all good.
I'm gonna be over in about 5 minutes, Gene. We'll just sit together.
Yeah.
I'll pour one for you.
All right. I guess it's about 5:02. We'll call this meeting to order. As last year's chairman, I'll call it to order. And first order of business is to elect a chairman, a vice chair, and a secretary.
I make a motion that we keep all elected officers as they are.
Second.
Got a motion? I need a second.
I
Second.
Oh, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion
Mike,
carried.
Mike,
Now,
point of order. Can you tell me who the vice chair and the secretary are? Because I was not a part.
no, I can't because I don't know.
I'm the vice chair.
So it's Mike, PJ, and who's our secretary? Jean?
No, it was Diane.
Oh, okay.
Or was it
All right.
Diane?
Did
Okay.
you hear
Okay.
the railroad go by you, Diane?
Yeah, I did.
And Diane is who?
Secretary.
Diane. who?
Secretary.
Annie.
Diane, who? Janny.
Okay.
All right.
Looks like
There we go.
Ashton's in now.
All right. So let's just open up for general discussion. Thanks everyone for taking the time. We talked about doing a two-step process just because it seems like one meeting has didn't get enough discussion, I guess, and so this is our attempt here. And if we do get everything done tonight, I don't think we have to have that second one, but so if anyone has any idea of how you want to start?
We're gonna
If
sync
anybody
these
wants to
bonds.
start talking about their position that they represent, or any ideas?
I'm gonna speak up real quick. If you are not speaking, make sure you mute, because otherwise there'll be a ton of background noise.
That was my point. I
That
couldn't
was
hear
a
a
help.
thing.
Thanks, Rich. That must have done. I was wanting to know, I didn't see anything in our handouts about what kind of increase in healthcare costs we were seeing for the county this upcoming year. Do you have something like that, Courtney, by chance? Or did I miss it?
No, we haven't heard from Wellmark yet. Last year's increase was very minimal, and I'm assuming this year will be very similar to that, just based on claims. So we haven't got any word from Wellmark yet, but I'm basing that on just the claims we've seen over the year. They've been very similar to last year, so I don't foresee a huge increase.
Last year was 7%. I thought that was enough. That was pretty notable. Anyway, go ahead.
It ended up not being 7%. I think it was less than 2% in the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we were able to absorb that with premium increases for the people that took the low deductible plan, and were able to leave the high deductible alone. So I thought it was good last year.
Good to know. Thank you. Oh, we still got some background noise here. Mike, we can't hear you. Mike, you're muted.
Oh, yeah. I think the only one that's on, Ashton, I think she's on her cell phone, and I think she just needs to mute that. But she's at a ball game, I think. There we go. All right. So anyone else have any thoughts here?
Mike, I might suggest that we could probably close this whole thing out tonight. Lord knows where we're going to be as the start of the new year. So I might recommend something like perhaps 1.3% increase, and stop right there. That's what us retired folks are going to get, and maybe that's what we need to do with the county government.
I was thinking a lot. I was noticing that. I particularly paid attention to that myself, John. That was 1.3 was what I was seeing, but I'd listen for further information.
If I could offer a thought, I don't disagree with the concept behind it, but that assumes that all of the salaries as they stand are where they should be. And having been in government for 34 years and having been paid average or less than average for our comparability group, my fear is this. I'm representing the county attorney's office, and I know John has been in the office somewhere in the 22, 23, 24 year range. And like it or not, John is not going to be our county attorney forever. And we need to make sure that our salary, whatever it may be, is one that will not only attract, but will retain quality people. At the same time, I don't think it's fair to John to have done the kind of work that he's done for the kind of period of time that he has done. And as I look at the salary survey, he clearly is average to maybe just a hair above average. I throw that out just for discussion point, because like I say, at some point, we're gonna need a new county attorney when John retires. And as it stands, the last 25 years, nobody runs because nobody wants the job. And they're certainly not gonna want it if it doesn't pay anything.
Jeff, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know, we need to look at the positions where they're going to be at in the future. And I think the other comparability is where they're compared to with the city of Carroll. You look at this, the city police chief. I believe Brad's worth every penny he gets. I believe Ken is very underpaid when he has more employees, so on and so forth. You look at the finance director. We have an auditor. We have a treasurer. Higher volumes of customers. I guess I'll just make a motion right now. Let's just get this started. I'll make a motion to recommend 6% for the county sheriff, 4% for all other elected officials. And if the board of supervisors wants to cut it, they can do what they want to do.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion?
Who
Wow, that-
seconded, please?
PJ seconded.
PJ.
Gene, stop shaking your head.
Oh, I said, holy shit. I think that's really, of course, the board of the supervisors still have to make the decision. We only make reservations, and I'm not recommendations. I guess I feel that we are, when you consider the addition of the benefits in the situation of the medical insurance being paid 85% is a major benefit that should not be overlooked. And I think 6 and 4 is a lot, considering that much is being already promoted for the persons.
Gene, I will make the point that health insurance does not buy groceries. Cash,
who is
house
talking?
payment.
Is this Chris?
This is Chris Whitaker. I will make and this is again, we are making not a benefit recommendation. The charge of the comp board is for salaries and recommendations there. So we're trying to recruit people, pay people for what they're worth. So, you know, health insurance and benefits, that's important, but it doesn't put food on the table, make car payments, house payments, so on and so forth. So,
but it frees up money that can do those things that the ordinary person does not receive in their jobs.
I'll stand by my motion.
Well, that's fine. We're having discussion, and that's all we're supposed to do.
So I guess I would just say is, we talked in the last 5 years or 3 years that about a percentage raise just never narrows the gap. If you talk about the auditor, the treasurer, the recorder, there's about $10,000 worth of spread there of difference of salary. And when we do that, it just keeps getting larger. So I don't think we have enough time and spend enough time to analyze each position to determine which one's has more value than any others. So I think in the past, that's why we've always went to a percentage, because it was just harder to figure it out. But I mean, they're all positions that, they manage people, they prepare budgets. They report to the supervisors. They've got their state officials that they report to. So I don't know. Part of me thinks that we need to narrow that gap.
Well, Mike, even though I said 1.3, that's because I think that may be all the money that's available. And to Gene's point, you might tell your senator and your representative to quit talking about the first thing they want to do is lower the tax rate in Iowa. Not the year to do that, for sure. I agree that we should, and I believe in moving forward, but I don't think this is a year to do it.
I would just say, as usual, we're, as representing the sheriff, I'm trying to rectify a gap for the sheriff between him and our chief of police based on salary. And as I've been working on it, a percentage point at a time, last year, my recommendation that was voted through was 5%. The Board of Supervisors took that to 3.7%, which was in their purview, and quite frankly, I supported their decision. So I'm starting, like I'm agreeing with Chris, based on a long-term fix for the sheriff's salary as compared to the chief of police, the city of Carroll, and competition for when it comes time to replace a sheriff. I've known Mr. Kaler down here since I was a sophomore in high school, and Mrs. Ludwig since I was a Cub Scout. I'd also like to hear, since we're discussing this particular motion, I'd kind of like to hear Jeff as our new member and representing Mr. Worden, if he feels that 4% is good for Mr. Worden, or what he has to say about it, just personally. Because I second the motion, I stand by my second.
Yeah,
but that's my reasoning.
I would like to discuss it a little more. Obviously, I am new to the board, but as I looked at what happened last year, and the recommendation was taken down to 3.57, not 3.7.
Okay, my apologies. I read that wrong.
But that initial proposal was a 5% for the county attorney and 5% for the sheriff. So I'm assuming there must have been discussion last year about bringing those two positions up. So I'm unclear why this year we would only take the sheriff up and not the county attorney. The second point that I would make, as I look at the information that was forwarded to me by Courtney, although the county attorney's position is classified as part-time, it's also classified as 40 hours a week and allowed to have a private practice. And so, when you look at what an attorney, whether it be John or anybody else that ultimately runs that office down the road, and they charge $200 to $300 per hour, it would appear that, we're getting quite the bargain. But I'm unclear why we tried to raise the sheriff and the county attorney last year, but this year we're only looking at the sheriff. Is there something that's different, or what am I missing? Anyone?
Chris, I'll go back to you. Your motion was 6 for everyone else, but 4 for the attorney, right?
No.
Other way around.
6 for the sheriff, 4 for everybody else.
I got you.
So does anybody remember what the discussion was last year? I remember reading things in the newspaper, but at the time, my personal belief, having worked with John, for his entire time as county attorney, I know that he spends an inordinate amount of time, not only during the day, but at night and on weekends. I remember distinctly a number of times where he was out with us at night, on search warrants, things like that. And clearly he recognizes that. And quite frankly, John has made the comment to me, if he could afford to, he loves this job, he would do it for free. But he can't afford to, and we still have to look down the road. It might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, it might be 2 years for all we know. But at some point, John's going to retire, and just like I did. And will anybody run for that position? Nobody has in as long as I can remember. So again, I go back to the discussion. Do you guys remember what happened last year when it was a 5% recommendation for the sheriff and the county attorney?
Yeah, I can remember. And whoever was sitting in your chair last year pushed that. And what I might suggest you do is ask the G-Man if he would accept a friendly amendment to his motion, and you jack up the county attorneys to that same spot.
Chris, is that something you would be willing to consider?
I will not.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
I just want to say I do appreciate the discussion, as opposed to having been on a board where there was no discussion and everything was done in like 8 minutes, and that was not acceptable to me. So I appreciate the discussion.
Anyone else have any discussion?
How many voting members do we have, Mike?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7.
7. So, okay, 1,
Is that right?
4.
Even though I'm the chairman, I'm
5,
still
6.
the voting member, right?
1, 2, 3.
Courtney?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. You better raise your hand so I can count them. I got
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4. All in favor, all opposed? That's 3. The 4 to 3, that motion carries. So the proposal that's coming out of the comp board, 6% for the sheriff, 4% for everyone else. Our next, so I will take that to the Board of Supervisors. And that'll be when, Courtney?
We have a meeting every Monday, so if you want to do it next Monday, we can do that.
Okay, so that brought up a good question by PJ about who was voting on. Is it the
current
this year's
seated
board
board
or next year's board of supervisors?
Well, in the past, we got it done in January, so it was the new board. So I guess it doesn't matter to me when you present your recommendation. If you want to wait until January, you can certainly do that. It does affect the 22 budget, which our outgoing board member will not be voting on. So that would be entirely up to the compensation board when you wanted to make that recommendation.
Looks like last year I went to the board meeting at December 23rd.
Now, if you
Yeah.
bring it to the board doesn't have to take action on it until after the first of the year too. You know, they can accept your letter and acknowledge they received it and then vote on it after the first of the year too. So if you want to get it done and taken care of, you can submit the letter to the board, and then the board, I'm assuming, would accept that and then make a decision after the first of the year.
Okay.
I can't speak for them, but that's what I would guess.
Well, yeah, so I'll, okay.
Who's currently the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, or is anybody here? Rich, what would you like to see happen? Or
It's last year, coming before the first of the year, there was going to be no change in the board. This year, there will be a change in the board. And as Courtney pointed out, that the person that is going to be working with the budget will not be present until after the first of the year. That is all true. It makes no difference to me. I think that our outgoing board member will treat it fairly and equal. I don't see too much difference in it, other than, like I said, the incoming board member will have to deal with it. And this is something we run into every time there's an election or a change of not running. So it's not uncommon to see this. So we always have room if you would choose to do that. If you don't, that's fine. We can do it after the first of the year also.
All right, we'll just plan on, did you say every Monday you have one?
Every Monday, the 28th will be pretty jammed up for the first.
I'll just come I'll come on the 21st if you want to put me on there, Courtney. Okay, I'll take that recommendation. That is a recommendation from our board. So that's a board as a whole. That's our voice. Even if some of us were not in favor of that, but that's a voice out of our board. So let's see. We don't need to set any future meetings. So with that, I'll cancel that one that we had for the 29th. I think it was.
Yes.
And anyone else has any comments or questions?
Mike, I have a question, if I may. I'm new to the board and I apologize for this, but PJ said he represents the sheriff. I'm representing the county attorney. Can people tell me who they're representing?
I represent the board of
represent the auditor.
Hold it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Diane.
I represent the auditor.
Who said that?
Diane
Diane.
Channing represents the auditor. Gene
Okay.
Ludwig represents the Board of Supervisors.
Supervisors.
Along with John Brocklesby. PJ's the sheriff. I'm the recorder,
And I represent the treasurer.
treasurer for Chris.
Chris represents the treasurer, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Everybody moved around.
Yeah, I know. Rich is now down at the bottom of my screen. He was up there. And I don't know. Okay, any other things for the good of the cause here? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion? I need a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Hi. Who
Opposed,
moved?
same sign.
PJ moved, Chris seconded.
Okay,
Thank you all for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all for your
Merry
time.
thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Happy